Okay, so there's so many different tutorials out there on these pencil tumblers, but I'm just going to do one because everybody does them different. So I am doing two from start to finish today on these built swivel lid tumblers from Walmart. I sanded them and sprayed them white. I also have about 4 that I have to finish up that look like this currently, and one like this, because I kept running out of yellow glitter. And now I went through and ordered a lot of yellow glitter from Glitter Designs by 2. So pretty much what you're going to start off by doing, I use the roll of electrical tape as my guide kind of thing. So I go around the cup and I draw the line. It's kind of hard to see where I'm at here though. I go around the cup and I add a very light horizontal line. I didn't realize why this is so important because sometimes your tape shifts. So that is going to be my pink area, and I'm going to take my actual tape and I'm going to go ahead and start it right under where that line is, and you go around the whole cup. This part that you're taping off is going to be your silver of the pencil eraser, unless you choose to do this the other way. I've done them with the point in the air, just because like the Ozark Trail cups have the charcoal gray lids that it makes sense to go that way, but on like a 30 ounce I don't think it makes sense because your point should be smaller, and on these skinny ones it can be anything. So this is going to be your pink, this is going to be your silver, this is going to be your yellow. Now you need to do the fun stuff on the bottom. I usually just use that line that comes on the cup as my guide, and pretty much you take your decal and just peel it off. Usually I would use transfer tape, but I don't feel like using transfer tape because there's no real need to. I go through and I do little slices on the vinyl, and I do it up until about like halfway, just so it curves and bends better. You will be like taping these off a little bit then if there are gaps, but I just go through and peel it off and then start down at that line and roll my cup. It's easier if you have the removable vinyl so that it peels nicer. Sometimes it rips, that's okay too. I just put it on the edge of my table and readjust the other part that I need to adjust, because you want this all to not have crazy bubbles or anything like that, just because it could create little gaps. In the past, I have painted some of these pink where the eraser goes and yellow where the yellow glitter goes, but it doesn't really seem to make a difference. So this one came out and it's like kind of overlapped right there, but there are gaps. So I have little pieces of pre-cut electrical tape that I'm just going to use to cover that area. And then that's how you get the lovely black and white look. Make sure your triangles and stuff are pressed down. And then that's pretty much it for taping it off. Okay, so I finished taping off this one with the exception of this area here because I wanted to show you what I do when it's kind of not even. I just take, it wouldn't make sense to take electrical tape and just slap it over there because then your triangle thing is going to look a little funky. So what I usually do is I'll take 2 pieces and kind of like continue the triangle, so to speak, like extend the line. Now I don't want this little tiny guy to be down into my other color area, so I'm just gonna cut that off. And I take my other piece and you kind of follow the line right there, and then so it doesn't get funky down here, you take another piece and just, now you can run it across a little bit. Okay, So these guys are ready to go. Both of them are taped off. And we start with pink, then yellow, then the black. And we do sealing and all that stuff in between. Making sure that the colors don't bleed and all that. So here we go. Alright, so you take your brush and your Mod Podge. And you just start painting it on evenly. Go back over, smooth it out if you need to. And I just take my glitter, I work over a piece of paper, and then I dump it back in, obviously. But you just dump, spin, dump. I kind of go a little excessive. Tap it. Just to be super obnoxious. You dump the glitter back, then we go and do it again for the second cup. So now you don't want to touch the pink again until it's dry. So we move on to the yellow. Shake my paper out pretty good, and hopefully my colors won't get contaminated. I have searched a lot of places for yellow. I am finding that it's really hard to find one that's not totally like translucent. This one is Glitter Designs by 2 is the company, and it's called Sunshine and Rainbows. It has an iridescentness to it, but I really love it. And they have super fast shipping, and I kind of have some glitter addiction problems, but we'll talk about that another time. So a couple things I've learned is, you know, if you accidentally run out of yellow glitter, like I did, don't go ahead and do the black, because the black is just getting everywhere, and it's super annoying. So, do pink, then yellow, then black, just because. I'm sure it'll be fine, but in the meantime, it's irritating, because I have black glitter all up in my Mod Podge. Mod Podge. No, those have to dry too. So you want to do a nice even thin layer. No gobbed up Mod Podge. Just nice thin. You might need to go back over it by the time you get around the whole cup because it has a tendency to dry out if it's too thin. But you don't want it too thick because then otherwise it's going to look really bumpy and stuff when you put your glitter on. And it's going to take longer to smooth out with the epoxy. You could always sand it though, eventually. I usually wait until like the second coat of epoxy to sand, just so you don't sand away any of your glitter. Learn the hard way on that. And now this one just needs to sit there and dry. You're going to go back over and do another coat of pink and another coat of yellow and 2 coats of black too. But like I said, I wouldn't recommend doing the black just yet, just because it will get it all over the other colors. And all the Mod Podge has to dry for a little bit before you can even consider going back in. I made the mistake one time of trying Loctite, like the spray adhesive. That was a big mess. No, big waste of time, and it was not a good time. So I just stuck the Mod Podge for the pencils.